Now, COVID rules in many United Kingdom schools will be different for the new school year, as Israel also weighs similar options for moving forward and living more functionally with the virus. Now, an emerging British study showed that rapid COVID testing in schools can alleviate the need to close down entire classrooms. Now, in an effort to keep schools open this year and avoid the up and down shutdowns from the last 2 years, Israel's Sheba Hospital is proposing the use of in-class rapid testing, with the topic under debate now between health and education ministry officials. But we're joined by Dr. Bharat Pankania, senior clinical lecturer at the University of Exeter. As always, value your time on our program. Doctor, thanks for being with us. It has seemed at various points throughout the pandemic that there's been collaboration, or at least mutual learning, between UK and Israeli COVID researchers. Now we're seeing the third booster shot starting to be administered here this week, and reports indicating even next month that could begin in the UK.
Yes, that is the indication from UK government that they wish to combine the seasonal influenza vaccine with the SARS-CoV-2 vaccine booster as well, starting from the older age group. But as a scientist, I have some questions to ask as well.
Well, what would they be? What would be the most pressing?
Yeah, so the most pressing is, where is the evidence that the vaccine efficacy is dropping? Because my concerns are, as a globalist, should we be immunizing other parts of the world instead of boosting? I appreciate boosting is not a bad thing at all, but in the global picture, should we be concentrating on helping other countries who have not had any vaccines at all?
Now, for example, I know the UK has found the Pfizer vaccine to be effective somewhere in the 80% range of preventing infection. Now, Israel has released studies, not just some controversy, finding results somewhat lower, 40% lower even in some cases. What's contributing to that gap as far as we can tell?
That's a very difficult one, because the Pfizer vaccine globally has been found to be very effective. So for Israel to have found that the efficacy was as low as you mentioned is, I personally think, an artifact or something unexplainable, because in other parts of the world, the Pfizer vaccine has been extremely good.
Well, now, rapid testing in schools is coming up as well. I know the UK talking about that, same in Israel. Now they're debating this. Do you think this is one way, or at least a functional way, we can avoid the quarantines, the shutdowns that we've seen over the last 2 years?
Oh, absolutely. I think it is a good way forward. But this is what I would advise as a frontline public health expert, which is, don't rely only on the test. Do the test preferably by an expert at the school or something similar. That way your efficacy is better. Furthermore, also go through an assessment. And the assessment is, are you well? Have you got a headache? Have you got a new runny nose? Have you got a temperature? That only takes about 2 minutes of an assessment. So assessment plus test is better. Assessment, tested by an expert or somebody more professional or more trained will give you even better results. So that's what I would do, because remember, the tests are not all very accurate. They're about 40% inaccurate. Therefore, done in an expert hand, better, an assessment better, and that would be, I think, a very good way forward.
Now, I know there's been a mix of vaccines deployed in the UK at this point. In Israel, it's been largely Pfizer all on the way, providing so much Pfizer-centric data. But now Moderna has been started to be distributed in Israel as well after all this time. Are there benefits from the experience of the UK? Are there benefits to mixing up the type of vaccine coming in here, or at least the brand name behind it here?
Oh, there is ample evidence now that mixing works, and that in some cases may even be better. So, for example, when you've used AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine a couple of times, it makes ample sense to switch it to the mRNA Moderna Pfizer platforms. So mixing works, and mixing in some cases may even be better.
Dr. Bharat Pankania, always eye-opening and helpful for us to have you on the program. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.